Hi everyone, welcome to All Four Queens 555. I was going to do this one on the other one, the subliminal message, but I may as well just add it all together so there's a collection there. Welcome to the channel. It's all about awakening spiritual warfare and healing. Sorry, I've got someone trying to stop me from speaking on my throat chakra there, but I did get a waft of Paolo Santo as well, because someone's doing smelly stuff upstairs and it stinks. So I've got an incense burning as well, because we are close to the full moon, aren't we? And they do these things, so you know, it is what it is. And everywhere I go, they follow me. I was saying in my reflection, it's amazing how the last 5 years, I've had people follow me, but in the last 2 years, someone has followed me incessantly and has just basically put out negative energy 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Now, obviously, we know what some of that negative energy is, and obviously, you know, it goes back, doesn't it? So, you know, all we can do is hope that God has mercy on their souls. That's all we can do, really, isn't it? You know, everyone has a choice and everyone has free will, but not the consequences. So, you know, and we all know that. So, today's session, there's another subliminal messages that keep coming through, and obviously, you know, they've been trying to premeditate my health with this app thing, and I think that when I went for a lady. I went for one of those lady internals. Something was put inside me which enabled them to be able to do this, whatever it is, on the phones. I'm sure it was, because I felt it, and then from that moment on, they've been zapping me with these phones and trying to affect my health and all sorts of stuff. So the new one is, I keep seeing a lot of adverts about dentures. And obviously, I have had my teeth bleed a bit. Not massively, and I did speak to the dentist about it, but I do believe that that's something to do with... There's obviously this obsession that now someone's decided that I'm going to be some guinea pig for something like that. The other one is to do with high cholesterol. Now, I have had cholesterol, and I noticed that they're trying to sort of like bring in old... health issues, and the reason why I know that is because I had some surgery to remove some things on my face, and they've come back again in the very place where it was removed. So obviously, if they go into the spirit and they do stuff, then obviously they're conjuring up all sorts of stuff. And obviously that's spiritual. That's what they do. I mean, obviously I'm not au fait with what they do, but I believe that that's what they do. So there was that as well, and then obviously I've had stuff about arteries. And then I've had stuff about swollen feet and all sorts of stuff. So it's like they're using my body of some sort of experiment, I think, on these apps and on the voodoo, because they're constantly doing the voodoo. Now, I don't know if it's a voodoo doll they've got or something, but they definitely, you can feel the you know, the pins and stuff. And obviously that's to try and make it ill as well. But in all of this, you have to ask yourself why. And obviously it all links to money, doesn't it, you know, at the end of the day. But the other thing as well is that the fact that they're doing all this, we all know that we reap what we sow. So if you put out negative energy for destruction, you're going to get that destruction back. If you put it out from the spirit, you're going to get eternal life. So for me, it's like everything they've done, and bear in mind, you know, 2 years of 24/7 dark energy going out 7 days a week, and we were in the year of infinity, which is 2024. And I know some of these people that jump in my internet and just want to throw out little subliminal messages and stuff, some of them are quite young, and I don't think they understand the spiritual consequences of their actions. I really don't. I think that they think it's all very funny. They've got a big network that's going to protect them, and you know, they can do what they like, and there's no consequences, and there's a massive entitlement there. But I think what they need to understand if you want to go and dance in the dark side, you still have the light that is justice and judgment, and truth will always prevail over any lie and anything that they do, and they still have that energy that they put out that will automatically come back, especially if the spiritual realm think what they've done is so egregious. They'll just respond, because you're dealing with energy, and you're dealing with spirits, and they don't mess about. You know, they want to dance with the dark spirits and the lower realms and the lower frequencies, and they do whatever they do there. When you're dealing with the higher realm, they're still spirits. God's still a spirit. Ancestors are still spirits. They might not have the vessel, but they're still a spirit. And archangels are spirits, and saints are spirits. And so I just want people to understand that you might dance with the darker side, but the light will always prevail. And whatever energy somebody puts out, it's going to come back. And they can't control how it comes back. And the aggressiveness that I've seen over the last 2 years of how much people have just followed me everywhere and just banged on hotels to get in at 2 o'clock in the morning so they can throw out all this energy. And in some cases, I actually stayed in the car and watched them do it, because it was just too much in the hotels. You know, bear in mind, they come from a home, haven't they? They've come from a stability. They've ruined my credit score, you know. Had a very good job, and they've just completely destroyed that. But I don't concern myself with it, because it's energy. And blocking me, they will block themselves. So the subliminal messages obviously are around teeth and, you know, cholesterol, swelling of feet, arteries. There was one about eyes as well, and all sorts of stuff. So they think it's funny, and I just want people to understand that, you know, we are accountable for what we do. And I'd like to think that the elders in these places that teach these young ones that, you know, there is a way of doing things, and you can't just go out recklessly and throw out loads of energy and think that it's not going to come back. And if it doesn't work the first time, then quite clearly I think that's an indication that you don't need to then do 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, throwing it out and then getting loads of people involved. And where I used to live before, they'd have the curtains closed at certain times. Certain people would have the curtains closed. So I don't know what they do behind there, but obviously it wasn't good. But yeah, so this is spirituality in its rawest. You know, there's the light side, and there's that side, and then there's the dark side where people use other things to do work. And I'm not questioning what they do. All I'm saying is just be mindful that when you do it, when that energy comes back, it's going to hit you like a rocking ball. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I don't think all that energy is returned yet. You know, I've seen people break down in their cars and stuff, but I don't think all that energy has been returned. You know, and they control when it goes back. We don't control it, they do. Divine timing. When the planets are all aligned, that energy will go back. So I just want people to be mindful of that. So yeah, the subliminal messages. So I'm assuming they're trying to now attack my teeth and do all sorts of stuff like that. And, you know, the legal implications of what these people have done. And although you say you can't see it, I know they're doing it. They know they're doing it. And any good investigator will know what they're doing. Because I do believe there are some good people out there. I do. I don't believe that this has just been me on my own with God and the angels and the ancestors. I do believe there are some good people out there. It's just a lot of people to look at and understand why they do what they do. And I also said I don't understand why they're so obsessed in studying me and having me on surveillance 24/7 and invading my privacy. When it would be these people that people need to be understanding why they feel the need to do what they do to innocent people and to their bodies and to their livelihoods and everything. I mean, yes, we know it's about money, but the things that they do and the things that they're enabled to do, for me, is really wrong. And that's where the world needs to change from a social justice point of view. I've always said, if these people want to go and do these things, then just be honest about it so people know what you get into and what you're involved in. But the fact that you attack innocent people who are authentic and speak truth and stand in their truth, I'm not ashamed to say I love God. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say I love my ancestors and Jesus and the archangels. And if that offends somebody, well then so be it. That's how you receive it. But when people go off and do stuff in the dark and then they don't own it, that says to me they don't actually feel comfortable in what they're doing, because they don't have the right to judge anybody else. So for me, I just hope that people understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. And when that energy comes back, I hope they can transmute it, because it's a lot of energy what I saw. And if they are trying to affect other aspects of me, then, you know, that energy's going to go back. And one of the other things that I want to also say before I sign off is our ancestors are there to protect us. If people do things to their ancestors so that they're no longer here and they get cashed out, allegedly, then who's going to protect you when you're in spiritual warfare and you've got karma, you're weighed down with karma? I just want people to be mindful. You know, this is the reality of when people think it's all good and funny, and then they hit into the karma and they can't deal with it because they've got no protection. And the physical realm can't protect you from energy. Nobody can. So I just want people to be really clear on what we're doing it and why we're doing it. I mean, we all know it's money, but is your life worth that, really? Your own? Because that's basically what you trade in. And if it is, well, then that's your choice. But, you know, I would think twice. So for me, I'm going to sign off. And they also need to remember that God is a spirit. So is Satan. They're all spirits. And when you're dealing at that level, you need to know what you're doing. You really do. So I'm going to sign off. My lovies and leavies. Dentures, yeah, all dentures, adverts, things about, you know, eyes, arteries. I'm just putting it on here because I want to keep myself safe, but also record what they're doing. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So yeah, and it just keeps a record of everything that I've been through as well. So I'll keep it sweet. So have a good one. I love yous and leave yous. Sending you much love and light and lots of healing, and I hope those that, you know, appreciate this message. I want people to change their behaviours, and an apology is a change in behaviour for me, and get on the right path and do things the right way for yourself and for your lineage and for your bloodline. So I'll see you on the next one. See you later. Bye.